seem to be stuck. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. I had a little problem opening the Hangout, but I'm here now. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm teacher Oakley. And in this class, we're going to be looking at job interview questions and practicing. During our last class, we talked about it a lot and talked about some basic concepts. In this class, jump right into the practice, and I'll be critiquing you in regards to English and also content. Hello, Rodrigo.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you for asking.
Okay. Welcome to the class. Welcome to your pretend interview. Okay. Okay. Now, Rodrigo, in this class, you guys are going to be practicing some interview questions. I'm just going to take turns and go around the class. Hello, Daniel, again. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Okay, let's talk about, all right, let's do some job interview questions. I'll introduce them. You wouldn't hear this in an actual job interview, but I'll give you a little preview of the question types because we're going to look at different types of questions. First of all, you're probably going to get a kind of introductory question, self-introduction. Okay, and probably as simple as something like this. Rodrigo, it may be as simple as tell me a little about yourself. Okay, or it may be more specific. Tell me about your educational background and work experience.
Okay.
Whatever.
Hello, I am Rodrigo Rivera. I have a degree in business administration and computers. I did a master's degree in SAP. I have been working with technological projects such as web, ERP, CRM, and my last job was in SAP. I had been there like an intern in the innovation SWAT team, and right now I am open for a new opportunity, for example.
Okay, for example. Okay, Rodrigo. Thank you. Okay, and not a bad example. In the last class, I discussed how you probably, in most English-speaking companies nowadays, you're going to go through a series of interviews. Your first interview is generally with an HR person. So you may get the same exact question. Tell me a little about yourself to get the interview started. Okay? Your answer to an HR person would be much different than your answer to somebody who is specifically involved in your department, maybe even a future manager. Rodrigo, there's nothing wrong with your answer, per se. Okay, nothing wrong with it. I just want to point out that I have no idea what you're talking about. So I would be. I mean, I know obviously. Okay, you have a degree in business administration and computers. I followed you up until then, but when you start talking about SAP and this project and that project with acronyms, and yeah, I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
I just want to say, just an added point, you're part of your strategy, you're just talking to an HR person, tone it down a little bit from the acronyms and jargon. if you're talking to an actual person in that, whatever, you're in operations or you're talking to the finance director or you're talking to somebody who really knows what you're talking about, go nuts, go crazy. That's fine. Do what you did, but be wary of being too full of jargon and acronyms and particular uh, specific to that job related vocabulary with HR people, because they may not know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, but okay, that's great. Kick it off. Don't say too much. He did not say too much. He did not say too little. He basically summarized, and that was fine. Really, nothing wrong with that. Let me welcome some others to the class, and then we'll continue. Hello, Jose. Hi there, Jose.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hello to Shell again. Hi, Shell. Welcome back.
Again. Thank
Hi
you.
there. And also welcome back, Max. Hey there.
Hello. Hello again.
Hello again. Okay. Okay. All right. Another kind of broad-based question would be, what experience do you have in this field? Okay. Obviously, you want to talk about as much as you can. Directly involved with the position you're trying to get. Maybe you're trying to get a position that is not directly involved with your education or your experience. If that's the case, give it some thought. When I first got a job at a marketing company, when I did my interview, I concentrated on, now I had spent many years as a chef. I concentrated on the fact that I was a general manager of 3 restaurants, and I was in charge of all the marketing for these 3 restaurants. And I talked about how I started promoting wedding packages and business meeting packages, and what exactly I did to market those packages. Now, in truth, was that the focus of my job as a manager? Heck no. That was a small part of my job. But that's all I talked about, because I'm trying to get a position in marketing. So in other words, as close as you can get. It does not have to be, doesn't have to mean that you can only talk about positions that were the same as the one you're trying to get. Anything that is related. Okay. Okay, Daniel, another question for you.
Yes.
What have you done to improve your knowledge in your field in the last year or two?
Okay. I improved my knowledge in design, civil roads, doing a course in a specific software called Eastern for my improve, because it's a very necessary software for working nowadays.
Okay. Don't say for my improve. Okay, to improve my working knowledge. Ooh, my working knowledge. There's a good phrase in English. To improve my working knowledge of blah, 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 whatever it is. Okay, there's a nice phrase for you to use instead. Okay. Again, you know what? There's something else that you've done to improve. And I know that, Daniel. How do I know that?
Yes, I
Because
I'm improving my English, because
because one years ago I almost can't express by English, and I'm improving by internet, by verbally my English skills.
Okay, there you go. Not directly related to the nuts and bolts of the job you're probably going to get, but related nonetheless. Okay, it could come into play. It could be important. It could be useful in the job. You do have to communicate with other people in your job,
Yes.
right? So there you go. So the fact that you're learning English, all right, that is improving, possibly improving your future work performance. Okay, 1 year ago, 1 year ago,
Year
1 year,
one.
not years. 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
Mhm.
I could. You should say I couldn't express myself, not I can't express
I
myself.
couldn't.
Past tense.
Yes.
Okay. So anything and everything. And if you have nothing, if you didn't take a course, first of all, you should always be taking courses. That's my advice as a teacher. But you can all talk about verbling. I know that because you're all here. Secondly, third, I don't care if you you did some research on the internet, then you can at least talk about that. I've been doing some self-study on the internet regarding ABC topic. You can
Okay.
certainly say something.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. They want to ask about how you've got to have something to say there because they want to see that you're willing to self-improve and work harder to do a better job. They're looking for motivation there. All right. Are you a motivated individual? Do you keep improving? Okay. All right. Jose,
Yes.
what do you think are some of your strong points when it comes to work?
The strong point when I come to the work.
When it comes to work, about work. When it comes to economy, what do you know about the trickle-down theory? Okay, I just use the phrase when it comes to mean regarding or about, related to. Okay.
Yes. About the work.
Yeah.
About the work. Yes. I think that it's very important the skill that you have, the knowledge about all the subject that all necessary to develop the activity.
Okay. Well, here the interviewer's testing your knowledge of adjectives. Really, I don't really like this question personally, but it is a common question. Strong points, weak points. Strong.
Okay. Strong point. Strong points in an interview. My skills. I am a hard worker.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, no? More or less.
Yeah.
I feel motivated with this job. For me, it's very important this company because I feel integrated with this company. I would like to work for this company.
Okay. You feel what? Interrated?
Integrated,
Interested?
interested
Interested?
with
Okay.
the job.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interested in.
interested in.
You're
Okay.
interested in something.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. That's the idea. That's what they're
Yes.
fishing for. But I will tell you, every interviewer has heard that the person's hardworking at least 1,000 times. They probably heard it 50 times the same day. It doesn't
Okay.
exactly make you stand out. What can you do to make it stand out? The same thing that you do in an IELTS test or CAE.
Yes.
Give me an example. For example, if I'm going to say the same thing you did, but better, I think my strong points are the fact that I'm hardworking. I voluntarily work 10 to 12 hours a day, even though at my last job, pretty much everyone I worked with went home after 8 hours. If I could see that there was work that needed to be done, I would do it, and that's it. I'm willing to work weekends if that's what it takes to get a deadline done. All right, an example. Okay, don't just say I'm hardworking. Give me an example of hardworking. I'm very motivated. I've continued to take courses even after I graduated university. I frequently take courses to update my knowledge in the field. An example that shows me you're motivated. So it's very easy to say I'm this, I'm that, but to make it a much stronger answer, give examples. Again, you can't really be too specific. Every interviewer has heard the general, I'm hardworking, I work well with others, blah, blah, blah. We've heard that 1,000 times as interviewers. The specific accomplishments and things you have done, the exact way you do things, I have not heard that 100 times. I'm going to actually pay attention to you because you actually seem to be a human now, not just another robot who's come into my office saying, I'm hardworking, I am hardworking, I work
Yeah.
well with others.
All the people say say the same things. Okay.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. It's not a joke. And you've got to, you've got to separate yourself from the herd. That's the idea. Okay. Now, the much more difficult and challenging part of half of that question, Shell, what would you say are your weak points?
My my supervisor would always tell me to work in a slower pace because I tend to do a lot of things at a time, and I believe that is one of my weakest points wherein I I tend to work as much as I could and finish a project earlier just to and grab more opportunities to work.
Okay. You got the right idea. Obviously, Shell here is trying to make her weak point into a strong point. Okay. Yeah, you could even, that is the general idea. I could even take Jose's points. Hardworking, I work 10 or 12 hours a day on the weekends. I could even make that my weak point. I could even say, actually, my weak point is my strong point. I tend to work so much and not take time to relax. I actually feel that maybe if I did force myself to take a little bit more rest, that I could possibly be more productive. Work harder, not smarter. Perhaps I should take that old adage more to heart. Okay, so I'm making my weak point actually a strength. Okay, or I like to be independent, and I'm very independent at work, and I can do I love to be given a project and then just told to go for it until it's done. But on the other hand, this is a bad point because sometimes when I'm asked to work in a group, I tend to kind of take control. Something like that. Yeah, so the idea is if you're talking about your weak points, you're trying to make it into a kind of a strength. And talk about, I'm too this or I'm too that. Okay.
I don't know. I see everybody say the same. I I don't know how to say not for the word.
Yeah.
I see this is somebody asked me for a weakness. I say I need to improve my English speaking for example, but I am working on that. For example, but I
That
am
is
working on that. Right now, I take a course, something like that.
very good, and that is, I was actually going to thank you. I was actually going to suggest that. I was just going to say that. Bring up a weak point that you are working on, and that's a great example. I think my English speaking needs improvement, but I'm currently taking a course. It's a very good point. Thank you, Rodrigo. Excellent. Very good point. So acknowledging that you don't say I have no weak points because no one believes that. Don't say impossible things. For example, next example. Okay, tell me about a problem you had with your supervisor, Rodrigo.
In my last job, I had 3 supervisors. So I was working like design. Some the supervisor number one told me I want this in blue. The second one told me I want this background in green, and something like that. For the color, the taste. So it was horrible because they couldn't have the same idea. So for me was really horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an expression for that in English, actually. You can say, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Yeah. Okay, but try to keep it positive. Another way to say that, okay, the way you explained the example was very clear. Boss 1 would say this, boss 2 would say that. Frankly, it was upsetting to me because I couldn't really reach my productivity levels that I expect for myself. I expect myself to do a lot of work, and if I have to keep ping-ponging, going back and forth to get approval from one person to another, it slows down my productivity, and I find that really more disconcerting or troubling than anything. I want to get the work done. That's what I'm there to do, and anything that's going to slow me down is disturbing to me. Okay, I'm not using any really bad words, strong words. Just don't use any strong words like horrible, terrible, horrific, heinous, evil. My evil boss. Yeah. Okay, so try to, keep it neutral. One thing you don't do is don't say, oh, I never had a problem with my boss, because no one will believe you. I mean, we, too many chefs spoil the broth, the ass shell, a related idiom. Very good. That's it. That's the idea. But don't say you never had a problem, because no one's going to believe that. We all have problems. We have problems with our best friend, our brothers and sisters, our parents, our wives and husbands. So no one believes that you're never going to have a problem with your boss. It's just a little bit too science fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. That's not a bad one. I actually I had to quit a job once because I had two bosses. The guy and his girlfriend both thought they were the boss, and one of them actually told me I have Monday, Tuesday off, and the other one told me I have Wednesday and Thursday off. So they couldn't agree on what days off I had, so I took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. And when I come back, they told me I was fired. I said, well, you both told me. Anyway. Yeah, well, yeah, that's actually a true story, but the fact is I knew I did not want to work for such a place anymore because obviously there's no way I can please two bosses who are giving me absolutely opposite instructions.
Yes, and it's difficult. If there are a couple, it's most difficult. It's more difficult.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, but trying to keep it positive. This is a very normal, for English speakers, this is a very normal question type. Trying to get you to say something negative about your boss or your past company or your past coworkers. It could be about any of those things. Company, boss, coworkers. You just can't do it. Don't be trivial. Don't be negative. Okay, if you're talking about your job, you can talk about things like having a dead-end job, things that highlight your motivation and your ambition. Ambition is a good thing in a job interview, not a bad thing. So talking about those things can be good, not challenging enough, too boring. Okay, those things are okay. Okay, let's talk about some other things here. Classic. Okay, Daniel, here's a tough one. It's kind of the same idea. It's kind of negative. Why did you leave your last job? Or it might be negative.
I didn't leave my job. My my company was on bankrupt. Yes,
Bankrupt. Mm-hmm.
bankrupt. The whole staff will did fire.
Okay. Not okay. That's important to talk about in English.
Was fired.
First of all, they went bankrupt.
They went. Okay. They went.
That's the verb. The verb we use, went bankrupt. And secondly, the whole company was fired. No. Please remember this. Fired is very negative in English. And you're fired. Laid off. Thank you. That's it. You got it. The entire staff was laid off. Laid off means there's no work. So, or sometimes in English, we say let go. The whole staff was let go. Fired is very negative. It means you did something very wrong against something against policy, or you did not perform. You know, that can only be two things. You did something really wrong, like stealing or lying or cheating or something, or you couldn't do, you were incompetent, you could not do your job. So even if you were fired, don't ever say you were fired in a job interview. Never use that word. Okay, just don't. You can say, I left the job because of a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Fine.
I was invited to
Invited to leave. Yeah.
to leave. Yes.
Okay. Okay, here's another kind of question, which is very common, which frankly I like to ask myself when I was interviewing, Jose, why should we hire you and not Rodrigo or Daniel or Shell?
Yes. Because I have a lot of courses. My formation is high. I have three careers related with about this job.
Okay, wait a second. Slow down. You have a lot of good what?
Eh?
I didn't understand a lot of what you said. Pronunciation, I think.
Okay. I am a outgoing person.
Outgoing. Okay.
Outgoing person. I am a talkative person. I will yes. I have three careers.
Okay.
I am I am very competitive for developing this work.
right.
And I am a patient person too.
Uh, okay. All right. You gave me more of the same types of things that you gave me last time. Hardworking, motivated, okay, outgoing, pleasant.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Wait a minute. Now, first of all, one thing I would have to ask: what do you mean you have three careers?
Three careers, sorry, 3 degrees.
3 degrees.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Well, that's quite different. That's different, isn't it?
Sorry, 3 degrees. 3 degrees.
Oh, okay. That's different. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, that's a good one. Now, that was a good answer. Okay. Great. But you know what? If somebody asks me why they should hire me and not the other people out in the waiting room or whatever, I'm going to tell them because I can make your money. That's why. because I know how to make you money. I've made money before. I've given you some examples of when I made money for the companies I work for and how I helped them out, how I gained them customers or kept customer loyalty, and I'll do the same for you. And it's as simple as that. You want the most productive employee? I'm it. I am he. Don't be shy. If they ask you that question, why should I hire you? Please don't be bashful and shy, and don't try to say because I'm a good person and I'm nice. What do they want? They want to know, again, all they really want to know deep down, the whole thing you're trying to prove is that you're going to make them money, or if you're in support like HR or something like that, they want to show that you're going to save them money or make them money. That's it. That or that you're motivated, that you're actually going to come to work and you're going to stay with the company for a few years. That's it. So why should you hire me and not the others? Because I'm going to make you money and I'm going to stay at this company for at least 5 years. That's why. Okay, that's it. And don't be shy to say, as hopefully by then, usually this question comes near the end, all right? So don't be shy. If you haven't already found somewhere in earlier questions to actually give concrete examples of how you made the company money or things you did which streamlined a process or money cost-cutting procedures that you initiated, that you started, whatever, you need to think about those things before the interview and be ready to throw them in as part of your answer as wherever, whenever, as soon as you can, because that's what it's all about. really. Okay. I'll be a great asset for the company. Sure. Yeah, but then prove it. Again, it's all prove it by giving me an example. All right, my last company. All right, I did this and this, and it saved the company, $50,000 a year. So, all right, I'm reasonably sure that when I find things that are going to save the company money, I'm going to go through my supervisor and help them in any way I can to initiate these changes to save money because I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Da-da-da-da. Okay, Shell, let's see. Let's see, I want to think about some other kinds of questions. Yeah. Well, before I forget, I just want to mention talking about money, because many people ask me about this when we're talking about job interviews. Should I ask about money? Short answer, no. Actually, let them ask you. However, be prepared for this question. Okay, I would highly suggest, this comes from my own personal experience, you have a number in your head. If they ask you what are your salary expectations or requirements, then you have to have a number in your head and stick with it, okay? I say this because I've gone to interviews and suddenly they ask about money and I lowball myself. I give a lower amount than I really wanted. Just so I'm excited because I know that they're thinking about giving me the job. Otherwise, they never ask about money unless they're very serious about giving you the job. They won't bother asking about money. If they ask you about money, you're pretty much there. You're in. But just so you don't mess yourself up and then come away disappointed, I got a job, but it's for half of what I wanted. Just write that down. Here, write down that number, put it on a piece of paper, put it in your pocket, and when they ask you that question, remember that you've got a piece of paper in my pocket. Stick with that number. It's way too easy to fold and just say, yeah, I really want the job, so take anything. Or, oh, yeah, I'm very flexible when it comes to money. No, you're not. Say what you really want. They can try to negotiate with you if they really want you.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably will. If they really want you, they will probably say, well, how about we give you 2 weeks vacation but less money? What about if we give you, I don't know, some other kind of benefits? They may try to be flexible if they really want you. So don't hurt yourself with that one. Okay, Shell. Oh, here's an interesting question. Okay, Shell, should employees use social media at work?
If it's a part of their job, well, definitely. But in my previous work, our all the social media websites were blocked rather, because I think they impede work and productivity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Fair. That's okay. That's a little bit of a trick question there. If you're in marketing or something, then you need to use social media. That's part of your job. But all right, Shell's absolutely correct. In most other jobs, then not a great idea. Okay. Let's see. All right, fair enough, Shell. That was a tricky question, which you nailed it. Okay, here's another kind of a tricky question. Rodrigo, what do you see yourself doing in the first 30 days of your job? If we hire you, what do you think you will do in the first 30 days?
In the first day, I'm going to I'm gonna to know all the company deeply, and in 30 days I will I will I will be working in a interesting project uh, in the financial area or in business intelligence area, and in a little word, I will make money for this company.
Yeah, there you go. Go get them. Yeah. All right. Great. Okay. You're probably not going to make money for the company in 30 days, but all right. Okay, that's basically it. You have to get you have to get comfortable in the company, learn the ropes, learn the personnel, the people that you're working with. That's a very good answer, by the way. I really want to get to know the strengths and weaknesses of my coworkers to see how I best can fit in with the team and help us all function better. That's a great answer. Okay. Plus, I obviously have to learn some of these specific procedures, and obviously I have to learn the basic do's and don'ts in this workplace. Okay, but I like that Rodrigo said, and I want to start making money for the company. Maybe after 30 days, and I'm comfortable and I know what's up and what's down, then I can start thinking about how I'm going to make money for the company. And that's a great answer, and I like it that you're getting the idea of being very direct. Don't be shy. Okay. Okay. Daniel, have you ever managed anyone?
Yes, I used to have a 5 people team.
Okay.
And yes, in a construction, I used to was at the office in my computer, and then I send people to the, I don't know in English, to the field for taking datas for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to manage 3, 4, 5 people, depend on the develop of the construction, the
Okay.
stage of the construction.
All right.
In the very
And,
beginning, I used to have 1 or 2 people, and in the middle of the project, maybe 4 or 5 people.
okay.
Finally, myself.
Great. Okay. A 5-person team, not 5 people. 5-person.
Person. Okay.
Yeah. I know people is plural.
Mhm.
Here's a case where we're using it 5-person. We're using it as an adjective. So a 5-person team. Okay. Okay. And good. Did you ever manage people? All right. Good to throw in the idea. Oh yeah, I managed. I was given management responsibility for a 5-person team, and then later it became a 10-person team. Or if you can talk about how you had to manage more and more people, that's great. If you're able to, don't lie, but if you can, you want to highlight that. Typical again, Daniel. what was most what did you find difficult about managing people?
Personality people, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's people find difficult to understand orders, commanders, no?
Mm,
or
yeah.
or
Commands?
people didn't get get on each other, and they always call me or ask me for their problems.
Okay. They don't get along with each other. Okay.
Get along. Okay. I used to be his dad, their dad. Oh, they were my child, my children.
Yeah, I hear that. Oh God. Yeah. Right. Right. Whatever. Okay. All right. They don't. Did you say they don't follow commanders or don't follow commands? They uh, don't follow directions is probably a better way to.
Directions.
Yeah. They don't follow directions. Sometimes. Okay. You have to prevent them from taking shortcuts. Okay. For example,
Hmm.
to make sure the job's done right. So you can't allow you have to keep an eye on them and make sure they're not doing anything stupid. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay, all right. Not a bad answer, and there's almost okay. It's not a bad answer. It's not overly negative, and that's okay. It's difficult. You might want to say something. It can be difficult keeping the relationship professional. They look up to you. At least my team looked up to me, and they treated me like their father. Actually, personalizing it, okay, making a little bit of your own story. Actually, that's not a bad idea at all. So I kind of like that answer. Okay. Here's a general question that's really wide open, and I don't know what you're going to do with it. But Jose, uh, what
Yes.
philosophy guides your professional life?
What philosophy?
Yeah, what is your professional philosophy? Lots of ways
My
to say it, but that's what it boils down to. Yeah.
my professional philosophy is I'm a responsible person. I am a hard worker person. I think that I I am a good person. No?
Well,
I am a mature person too.
uh, okay. Hmm.
What is the best answer?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of things you can say. There is no really wrong or right answer. Okay. To just say what you said, but maybe a little better. To maintain professionality at all times. I'm a mature person. I'm a professional, and I like to be a professional in
Yes.
everything I do related to work. That's that.
I like I like the challenges.
Okay, but your guiding philosophy is something that you think
Yes.
of all the time, and that keeps you grounded, keeps you going. Okay. Um, okay, so you could talk about challenges to not only meet challenges, but also to actually seek out new challenges, to keep myself fresh and keep my work interesting. So
Yeah.
there you go. Just say,
When I have a problem, I overcome to the problem with facility.
okay. Okay. Well, you're talking about your approach. If they happen to ask you about your philosophy, your work philosophy, your professional philosophy, okay, or they ask you for an expression, or what old saying do you follow when it comes to work, anything like that, they're talking about your approach and how you look at work. Okay, and I emphasize efficiency. It depends on the job you want, of course. Obviously, if you're getting a job in customer service, I think customer service is of utmost importance. If the customer's happy, then I'm happy.
Yes. The most important thing it is the customer happy.
Yeah, well, okay, and it depends on what kind of job. Obviously, if you're getting a job in the HR department, you never work with customers, so that would be kind of a stupid answer. But if you're getting a job, you know, as the head of a customer service management team, well, then that's a great answer. So, you know, it should reflect what the job is. In fact, we talked here a lot, but everything should be reflecting on what job you're actually trying to get. All right, another kind of philosophy question that may be a little challenging. Let me try Shell here. Shell, for you, how do you evaluate success? Shell, are you there? You bounced in and out. I'm not sure if you're in the class or not.
Yeah.
You're here, but you're in a long tunnel. You sound a million miles away. All right, Shell, we only have a minute or two left, so I'm going to throw this one to Rodrigo. Rodrigo,
Yes.
how do you evaluate success?
I evaluate success. I look at the goals. If the goals are fulfilled efficiently, for me, is a success. And if you get a great knowledge in how you do the thing for fulfill this goal, for me is a great success.
Okay. Okay. Not a bad answer. Now, I purposefully asked that question in a very, very general way. How do you evaluate success? What success? Personal success? Financial, social, or professional success? I didn't say. I just said success. So that answer was purposefully totally general because you're trying to get a job. If I were answering that question, I would say, well, personally, you know, on a personal level, that's one thing. You know, if my family's happy, if I have my health, blah, blah, blah. But as far as professional success, then, okay, Rodrigo's answer was perfectly fine. So you may want to clarify it. If you're asking, in fact, if you're asking an extremely general question like that, what is your philosophy? How do you evaluate success? What makes a good teammate? All right, these are very general questions. Clarify it. Say, well, you know, a good teammate in playing university basketball is one thing. A good teammate in this job in the customer service department, or in human services, or in on a construction site. Of course, I'm going to say different things. A good teammate on a construction site watches your back. He He's safe. He's not going to get you killed doing something stupid. He's conscientious and professional. Okay. In a customer service department, I'm not really worried about a crane swinging over and hitting me in the head. The answer can be completely different, of course. Okay. In any case, we are pretty much out of time here, and actually I'm stuck. I'm going to have to say thank you and goodbye to you guys. I don't think I can actually close the class.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now. Thank you. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye. I may be late starting the next class because I seem to be frozen. Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Oh, man. Come on.